gentlemen, welcome to the Untapped Podcast. My name is Jacob Gabel.
And my name is Jacob Wurtz, guys. Welcome to Season 3, Episode number 17.
Dude, let's go.
Let's do it. Guys, if this is your first time joining us for the Untapped Podcast, first of all, thank you for choosing us to listen to, and welcome. We are so thankful and happy to have you here. We actually have 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. In these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand. This is where we cover a lot of mentality and mindset type content. We go through a lot of the things that we've gone through, how we've overcome those, and we try to pass on advice for you to then use it in your own life.
Nice.
Next, and this is what we have today, physical vitality episodes. In these episodes, this is where we cover the physical side of the brand. Okay,
Yeah.
we get to showcase our expertise a bit here because you have 2 certified personal trainers. So in these episodes, we cover the gym, diet, nutrition, workouts, fitness programs like 75 Hard, outdoor workouts, things that have to do with the physical side, okay?
Yep. Beautiful, dude. Our third format is our breaking news format. Now, the breaking news format, guys, is a current event-based format. Now, we talk about our opinions on certain issues, and we go over articles that, might be new in the news cycle, hence the breaking news part of the title. Now, we also talk about how history connects to current day events, because a lot of the times history does repeat itself, and we like to call that bullshit out because we see it.
Right.
And we want everybody else to see it too. Our fourth format, ladies and gentlemen, is our Knights Table episodes. Knights Table episodes are masculinity-based episodes. Those are where we really promote the importance of masculinity in our current society. Now, keep in mind, I'm 25, Wurtz is 24, my brother is 23. We are guys that are bringing you along the journey of becoming that strong father, strong husband, a man worthy of respect in this world, and that is what we really think is going to turn this thing around in this country.
Absolutely.
Our fifth format is our guest format. You can probably guess what that means. That is when we sit down with a fitness professional, entrepreneur, somebody that is a professional in their field of some sort. As long as they bring you value, we want to have them on. We end up having a really good conversation with these people. Yeah. Literally every one of our episodes has been that way, and that's been so much fun. We end up learning a lot of things from these episodes
100%.
Too, every time. Now, our final thing to introduce, guys, is our producer and my brother, Mitchell Gabel.
What's the word, y'all?
Money Mitch, what's up, dude?
Money Mitch is in the house.
Not much.
Give us some wisdom real quick.
Yeah.
Anything.
Little dad advice.
There's nothing going on up there.
That mustache, though. That mustache.
The mustache is up there, so something's going on up there.
It's looking good. It's looking good. Who did that for you?
Wake up jerts.
Yeah, wake up jerts. Yeah, that was good, man.
Bro, he rolled up to Saturday jiu-jitsu class with that thing, and everybody was like, dude, that looks sick. Because it did. He looked like a full-blown black belt pretty much. You basically are given the black belt when you have the handlebar mustache going.
Hell yeah.
So
that's awesome. Man, dude.
Pretty sweet.
Took us a few tries here to get this. I shouldn't say we. I'd take that back. Took me a few tries to get this podcast
The thing
rolling.
is, though, I can't chirp because I've done the same shit before.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't sit over here and be like, oh, I'm always perfect at podcasting. That would be asinine of me to do that. So it's, dude, again, we're 90 plus in, but we still have kinks iron out. It's part of the game. And I think what's crazy about that, too, is even the bigger podcasts have talked, we still have to iron things out and perfect things and whatnot.
For
and,
sure.
That's just part of the game, I think.
Right.
And is that a big deal? I don't think so.
Right.
But, it could be worse. So,
yeah.
But anyways, guys, we have a very exciting topic to dive into.
Yeah.
Today. At least in my opinion, I'm really excited about this one. Yeah.
It's going to be our first physical vitality one in a little bit.
Probably, I don't know, in 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, I want to say the last one we did, was it either our fitness program's dangerous or the part 2 to why you're not gaining muscle.
That's what it was. You're right. It was the fitness programs because I think
that's what it was.
Actually, a lot of fun.
Because that was almost a combination of breaking news.
It was because it ended up being an article. And again, this
Andrea Bimbo wrote the article or whatever.
Oh my gosh,
is that what her name was?
Gosh, bro, that's some Andrea Bimbo or whatever her name was. Yeah,
confirmed name.
Yeah, confirmed name. Yeah, we did look that up after the episode, guys, just to make sure that was a confirmed name, and it ended up being correct.
Right,
surprisingly enough. But yeah, guys, we wanted to bring you an episode on what we would do if we were currently either fat or overweight. And, that's pretty funny. And by the way, if you see a cat walking through, guys, just be ready for that. He's, for some reason, really active right now, and he's usually not.
Well, we are in a new studio. We did kind of breeze over that.
We did breeze over that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a little cool thing to do. You probably see all brick wall back here, which actually we thought looked really cool.
Looks awesome. Looks awesome. For those of you on YouTube, you'll obviously realize that pretty quickly that we're not shoved into a corner anymore.
That is a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I will say it. The open air feeling is a little bit better.
Although you feel so far away, dude.
That was what I was going to say. I think I'm talking to you from a mile away here.
I can't reach you, man.
Yeah. Damn it.
There's always got to be something sus in these podcasts.
Yeah, it has to be. I think we do it just so Mitch can insert the memes in.
Yeah,
on
dude,
YouTube
they're
and
so
whatnot.
funny.
Yeah, but again, if you watch YouTube for one reason, it's purely for the memes that Mitchell puts on top of the edits. It's absolutely hilarious. You know, the rock meme, Drewski might be thrown in there. Who knows?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I think Mitch, can you confirm this? Is that your favorite one?
No, I think The Rock's my favorite one.
The Rock
with
the raised eyebrow.
No, with
where
the
is
stupid,
that from? Like, why is he doing that?
the stupid,
what was the context there?
The stupid Vine sound over it.
So funny.
Oh man,
it's so
dude.
funny.
We're a funny podcast.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
We're informational, educational,
and comedic.
And hilarious.
Yeah. It's hilarious, like a confirmed type of genre.
Yeah.
Dude, this is great. Guys, so diving into our topic for the day. Again, like I said, it's about, and you already read it, of course, as you clicked on the video, but it said what we would do if we were currently either fat, and this also is included in it, or overweight.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of the times we let slip under the rug that being overweight is also not a good thing for your health markers whatsoever. Like, definitely you can be a little bit overweight or whatever. And maybe be okay. But because of course, like somebody maybe in my case, on my BMI, I might be overweight. But that's a different story.
6'4", jacked and good looking.
Thank you, sir. Needed that. That was a helpful one for the ego. Now I'm dialed in. But again, so we got to be careful with how we phrase overweight, of course. But I think our listeners are intelligent enough to know what we mean when we talk about overweight in this scenario.
Well, and that's why, we've talked about this back in season 2. We've talked about it in almost any episode whether it's an EX Fit, which again, that's from season 2, or physical vitality. That's why using BMI as the only indicator to figure out if you're overweight, if you're underweight, if you're just right. It's going to be, there's nuance that comes with that because like you were just saying in your case, it would tell you that you're overweight.
Correct.
Being 6'4", 230 or so.
About 230. Right about,
That would tell you you're overweight when in reality we can look at you and know that you're not overweight.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's when the in-body comes into play, of course.
Sure.
And that'll just come, guys, as we talk about this, that'll become with the fitness journey. Like you'll be able to tell, okay, am I actually overweight or am I a pretty beefy dude, so to speak. Because a lot of times you consider an offensive lineman in the NFL an overweight guy.
Sure.
But they're not. They're some big dudes.
Yes. They are, like if they were just walking around as normal people, quote unquote normal people, and not professional athletes at the highest level of their game, they 100% without a doubt are overweight. And that's honestly what makes those types of positions even more impressive, I think. Because everyone wants to look at the quarterback, the running backs, like the sexy positions, the fun ones. But that's what makes those guys even more impressive when they are able to sustain a, 10, 11, 12, some linemen 15-year career in the NFL as an offensive lineman is because you got to be 300 plus to be successful because you have 300-pound defensive linemen who are strong at 300. Not just fat, not
scary humans.
Oh yeah, and they're fast.
Yes,
like they
run a faster 40 than all of us in this room.
I know,
by a good amount.
Yeah,
at 300 pounds.
Yeah,
which is
insane.
Horrifying.
It's insane,
horrifying. But you're right because there's a big distinction there. But it's also like one of those things that, guys, we bring these up because that's not the average population.
Right.
That is they are outside of the norm. Because again, like Wurtz said, like they can maintain a 15-year career in the NFL. But even then, no matter if they're elite athletes or not, it's still going to be hard on their body to be 300 pounds.
Extremely, yeah.
Especially their knees.
Oh,
knees are one of those things.
Back.
Ankles are another one. Back is another one.
Yeah.
They take a little bit more of a beating.
Sure.
Naturally, as being an overweight person,
right?
Even though their muscle mass might be through the roof,
right?
It's still going to be to that point. So we wanted to differentiate that, guys, real quick for you. But the first point we wanted to dive into, and I'm really glad you put this for us here because it's a phenomenal one, is being honest with your starting position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can speak on this a little bit, and I want you to start with this because I think you have a phenomenal anecdotal story for this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just, the hardest point, whether you're under or overweight, is being honest with yourself. Okay, because I think David Goggins has a line or a segment that he talks on where, it might be mean when people call you fat, or they might be mean when people call you stupid, or it might be mean when, people call you something derogatory like that. And he goes, yeah, it might be mean, it might hurt your feelings, but you might just be fat,
Yep.
And so when you start to realize it, because, maybe you see that that your stomach is sticking out a little bit more. Maybe clothes are getting to be a little bit tighter in spots you don't want them to be tighter in. Maybe the love handles are coming out a little bit more. There's saggy skin maybe on your tricep area, on the under parts of your arms,
Absolutely.
where it jiggles and stuff. Like it sounds funny, but it's true. So maybe you start to recognize some of those things. It starts with being honest with yourself, guys. And I've talked about this in the past, kind of my story as far as being, pretty overweight at about 265 pounds at my heaviest. It took me having some kind of real heart-to-heart conversations with the guy in the mirror, okay? Because I knew the path that I was headed down, or I'm sorry. I did not know, and I did not realize the path that I was headed down until I did. Because I was literally standing, I just got out of the shower, I was standing looking in the mirror one night, and I was like, damn, dude, like this is not good. The direction we're heading right now, the path we're headed down, like this is not good. And, I've thought a lot about this now. I've reflected on it a lot about it now as well. Had I continued down that path and had any number of things not happen, such as us reconnecting, what was that, back in July 2020?
Yes.
So, wow, almost 3 years.
Well, actually, if you want to be technical, June.
Was it June?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to be like, technical about it. But we actually really got going in July at the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, any number of things doesn't happen, including that, if I continued on down that path, I could have been headed down a road for early death, in
heart disease, cardiovascular issues.
Any number of issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Cognitive decline like our
physiological,
president.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not a breaking news episode.
That's a breaking news topic. But also there is truth to that, because I have that coming from both sides of my family, my mom and my dad's side, as far as the dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But so I could have escalated that or expedited the path to that,
Yes.
had I continued on. So I had to have these real conversations with myself. And I also realized that mentally I was not heading in a good direction. I was just having, not great thoughts and finding myself in dark conversations with myself where I was just kind of just hated myself. And, that's putting you in a path towards depression, and anxiety and stress, which just adds on top of being overweight, because the more stress that you put on yourself, the more anxiousness you have, the more you're going to release cortisol. Obviously, I didn't know that at the time, but now I do. And that is why so many people keep fat in their stomach, because that's exactly where cortisol sits. Especially men. There and in the love handles, which is like your lower back area. So if you're sitting there thinking like, I don't think that's me, and then maybe you reach around, feel your lower back. Is it a little squishy back there? Well, that's what that is, So it's the hardest possible thing to do, but it's the number one thing that you have to do, is be honest with yourself. You have to have that conversation with yourself in the mirror. You can't, there's no one to lie to. The only person that you would be lying to would be you. And you're going to know if you're telling yourself the truth or not. Okay? And that's not the time to be doing that. It is not. You can lie and try to put on a face to your friends or to the people around you, your coworkers, whoever. But when you're literally face to face with yourself in the mirror, there's nowhere to hide. There's absolutely nowhere to go. There's nothing to hide behind. So that is the exact moment that you've got to be honest with yourself, okay? And it's hard to do. I get it. It's scary, and you might kind of hurt your own feelings in a way, but as long as you can take that criticism constructively, that's where change can start to be made.
Love it, dude.
And that plays for both sides of it, whether you're under or overweight. I think it's just generally a little bit more, it's caught a little bit more often from the overweight side, because when people are underweight, you could still have abs that show. You could still have a lot of veins that show. So you might confuse it with like, yeah, I'm in shape. Like, I look good. Okay, do you look good though?
There you go.
Like, do you honestly look good? Do you feel good? Do you have energy? You know, stuff like that. And obviously that's where you come from. But it's the number one thing that you have to do, and I can't stress that enough. And then it never stops. Having those conversations with yourself never, ever stops. Once you start on this path of self-improvement, you're always going to continue to want more. So those conversations have to continue to happen. Now, if you put the correct people around you, you may not have to have those conversations with yourself as often because you have people around you that are willing to have the conversations with you and bring things up with you, knowing that they're tough, they're hard, and they're honest conversations, but they're also in your best interest. You know, you and I have been at that point for many years, you know?
Yep.
And without it, I mean, we wouldn't be where we're at right now as far as you and I go.
Hell no.
You know, we wouldn't have this podcast still going. We wouldn't have the things that we're literally on the cusp of with our business right now, you know? So you have to get to a point as far as the people around you. And we talked about that in the Time is Money episode just a couple back. And we also kind of briefly talked on that subject in our most recent episode before this one, the Q&A episode we did, you know? So I don't know. It's just the number one thing you got to do.
I actually wanted to take a quick side note from what you said about, because you were talking about expediting the process and so to speak, speeding up the process toward dementia or Alzheimer's.
Sure.
When it comes to your family.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, guys. Don't skip over that point because that's important. If you take care of your health, it's actually shown to have connections with decreasing chances of that too.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah.
And this is pretty new research in the last 10, 20 years that's shown that the healthier you are, the better chance you have of avoiding complications with dementia and Alzheimer's.
And avoiding a fake disease called COVID-19.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's also breaking news.
Totally a real disease, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, you offended me.
Very scary pandemic that we
very scary. Everybody died.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Gates is actually going to said we are going to have another bigger one, more dangerous one.
Bring it on. I'll just get healthier then.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get more jacked, Bill. What are you going to do about that?
First Form's going to get more of my money on supplements.
Just all their vitamin C, buy all of it. You dump it in my shake. Come on. I didn't take care of my immune system.
You take 25 servings a day.
Oh my gosh.
You just take shots of ivermectin every day. You crush it up and dissolve it and just take shots of ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine.
Just have it on tap, ready to go.
On tap. Hey, yeah. Just a tap of it, like a draft.
That's crazy.
You liquefy it.
What the hell? How'd you come up with that on the fly? That's crazy. Oh my God.
Because I am hilarious.
Because you're very funny. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn it. But guys, I didn't want to just gloss over that fact because I think a lot of people think that cognitive health is somehow this is why we started the business.
Yes.
They think cognitive health is separate from physical health. It's not at all.
No.
If you take care of your physical body, guess what? You have that health span that we talked about in Time is Money, Season 3, Episode 15. And then guess what? Hypothetically, you start decreasing symptoms of Alzheimer's and dementia down the road. Who knows? And you have more time with your family.
Yeah.
All types of good stuff.
Yeah. Well, because the more
Love
you stimulate your mind and the more you keep it active throughout your life, the more and more you're going to do exactly what you just said, push those symptoms away for Alzheimer's and dementia specifically. You know, there's a big, you can tell when there's older couples, and honestly, my grandma on my dad's side is a perfect example of this. She is 83, maybe, I want to say 83.
Awesome.
And she is still, now she's getting older. There's just little things here and there where it's like, okay, yeah, she's getting older, but she stays extremely active. And I don't necessarily just mean like walking her dog or going for walks. Now she does do that to the best of her capabilities, but she's still very active in her church, in her community. You know, she still volunteers for the voting days. You know, she volunteers at the.
She's one of the polling officers
at the polls.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's just to name a couple. So she stays extremely active. So her mind is always having to work.
Cognitive health.
It's not just that she sits there and just plays, crossword puzzles all day long, and then her cognitive health just plummets, like we see with some people, So that's just a good example of that. My grandma on my mom's side, she lives out west, so she's able to be outside a lot in nature, on the hiking trails and all these other things. So it's the exact same thing. She stays active, and she has stayed very, very, very healthy.
Love it.
So it's awesome to see.
Dude, that is really good to see and hear from you on your end, because I think the elderly population, especially in general, our population is lazy as it is right now.
Oh, sure.
But if we can help people catch it before they hit the 50 to 60 or even early, hopefully as early as possible, of course, but that older generation, if we can show them things like that where you're still involved, where you're still being active and whatnot, it's so key for their long-term health as
Absolutely,
well. It's not just like once you hit 70, you stop being active.
You just sit and watch movies all day long.
Like I don't think.
No, I'm good.
No.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be picking up weight at that point in time.
Yeah, I'm still going to be driving my Ferrari at that time.
You're damn right. Damn right, bro. Little LaFerrari.
Yeah.
Ugh.
On our 70th birthdays, let's have a street race.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deal.
No,
it's on video.
We'll come back to our high school. Just fast it down 109. And just get full blown pulled over, because those roads, bro,
they won't catch up.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. Hey, we got to shake on this. This is something we're gonna do.
Yeah,
now.
I'm 100% down for this.
I'm full blown down for this. But guys, I also wanted to real quick hit on what one thing Wurtz said too. He was saying he was pointing out certain things on his body. He was like, was I catching myself? I could see my belly getting bigger. Was I catching myself? I could feel my love handles getting larger and whatnot.
My face, you've seen it too. My face specifically, really shows it.
We literally found an old picture from high school.
Oh,
and it was much more blown up.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I
100%.
wasn't even like crazy out of shape or anything like that. In
exactly.
high school.
You were playing high school sports that time.
Yeah, right.
So, and it shows how different of a change you've made now. Yeah.
Stretch
and you're much faster now too.
Oh, yeah. I'm faster, stronger than I've ever been.
100%.
That's playing high school and college sports.
Which is sick, because I'm in the same realm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm easily the most fit I've ever been now, and I'm 25, and I'm, again, out of college, high school sports, whatever.
Right.
Which is awesome to say.
Right.
But another thing that actually came off of the fact that you were faster is, are you getting out of breath more? Are you going upstairs? You catching yourself
indicator.
Like that?
Yeah. Going up or down the stairs is a big one.
That's a pretty. I've seen most people that are overweight or obese.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when we're walking up the stairs at a Cardinals game or whatever, and you look around you, and these people look like they just got
heaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like they're about to die.
I know.
So
some of them legitimately too.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them. It might be in the next couple of years. Yeah, which is awful.
Right.
But again, that's the state of our country. But if you're catching yourself doing things like that, guys, and the reason we're saying this, because this is the stage where you catch yourself. This is that. What we're going to dive into of the 5 stages of change, it's that stage where you're like, do I have an issue? Do I have an issue going on?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will ignore those issues until they get to like 350.
Sure.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just a big boy.
Right.
I'm just a big guy.
Right.
I'm big boned or whatever.
Yeah,
and
big bone. I hate that. What is that?
It's not a thing.
No.
Whoever told you it was a thing, they lied to you. Because those of you that are listening. But it's not a thing. That's some magical word they made up to make you feel okay with being a fat slob.
Yeah,
but,
I literally.
I mean, truthfully.
Yeah.
100%. Because they want you, guess what? If you're
on their
fat,
prescriptions.
they want you on their prescriptions. They want to make money off you because you're an ultimate customer doing that. That's a long-term process.
Bingo. There's the money shot.
That's the money shot of all this. Yeah.
Wait, we might need to find some conspiracy glasses to put on for that one.
Shoot, dude.
Let's do this.
We got
this one.
For those of you not on video, Wurtz just put glasses with hand glasses on with his own hands. Like we're back on Vine or something like that back in the day.
Or we're like 5.
Yeah, or we're 5 years old. Oh man, we're back on the playground or something like that now. Again, guys never grow up. We know that's true.
Oh, 100%.
So, and you and I are examples of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitchell's got the upside down ones. It looks like Spider-Man over there right now. I don't know what's going on. We're losing our minds, guys. But the reality of it is the overarching point is if you're fat, you're easy to control. You're also a lifelong customer of every corporation and government in the entire world. And that's what they want.
Let me ask you something.
Hit me.
Would you rather be a lifelong customer to the government, big pharma, billionaires that don't have your best interests, aka Bill Gates,
great guy,
the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, any number of these things, right?
Super genuine individuals.
Yes. So that's Group A. Okay, right. We got them over here.
Sweet.
This
okay.
bubble.
Good
Group A.
Good group so far.
Okay. Or would you rather be a lifelong customer of Group B over here? That's your local gym owner.
I
think the answer is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take B.
Because
One B over here,
or
please.
in that same group you just listed with Bill and Klaus and all those studs.
Yeah.
You're over there. You could throw McDonald's and Burger King and all the nasty ass foods that you know that give you 2,000 calories but feel like you just ate a breath of air. Yeah. And that's it.
You ate one granola bar.
Literally, I think Nature Valley granola bars might have more satiation than a Big Mac.
Literally.
100%.
Yeah. Neither one fills us up.
Neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. For sure, though. That's actually an excellent point that the fast food industry, the fast food industry absolutely would be paired up with that other group as well. But group B, your local gym, even if it's a corporate gym, whatever, would you rather be a lifelong customer of that, a natural way of healing your body, healing your mind? I'm obviously not talking about a broken arm or something. Don't go bench pressing when you have a broken arm. It's clearly not what I mean. Okay. But if your back is continuing to hurt you, guess what? You can go to the gym, you can work on your hips. Now your back doesn't hurt. Okay. Instead of taking pain pills for the rest of your life. So then you're supporting group A. Okay. I think it's pretty simple. You guys should let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Group A or Group B?
Yep, Group A, Group B. I think I would hope the answers are clear, like you said. Yeah. I would hope so. But guys, so we're going to dive into, like we mentioned, the 5 stages of change. And we kind of already dove in a little bit at the start here, the introduction of, and you can guess what these will look like. First one, number 1 stage is the pre-contemplation stage, the doing nothing stage, which is, by statistics, about 75% or plus of the population at minimum. That's like the low numbers, 75% plus of our American population. Right. So that's pre-contemplation, doing nothing stage. You're not even attempting to make something worthwhile for your health. Second stage is your contemplation stage. Right. Your contemplation stage, you start recognizing, like we said, you start looking at yourself in the mirror. Man, my face looks much more puffy than it should.
Little Michelin man like.
Yeah, Michelin man. There we go. That's a good comparison. Sloppy.
Mitch just said, "Go ahead, come on."
Yeah,
you got a mic for a reason.
Pillsbury Doughboy.
That contemplation stage, you start picking up on that Pillsbury Doughboy, and you start realizing, oh, I'm getting out of breath. Yeah, walking up 3 stairs. Yeah, not 3 flights of stairs, 3 stairs. Yeah, and you're done for.
Right. They also call this the awareness stage.
Yes.
Yeah, that might click a little bit better.
Exactly. The awareness. The
you're becoming aware.
Exactly. You have an idea of what's going on.
Right.
Now, the third one is your preparation or planning stage. Right. This is when you're like, man, I could go to the gym. This is probably the time I should start thinking about looking into gym memberships in the area. Yeah. What are the parks near me? Right. What nutritional, let's say like a Fit Flavors, what meal prepping spots are near me? What healthier options are there near me to eat at? Instead of McDonald's, go to Chipotle. Right. That type of thing.
Is there a high school track I can go to around?
Yes, because you and I are huge fans of that. Which
absolutely.
Always blows my mind because especially around the St. Louis area, there's so many damn high schools with nice tracks and nice turf.
Turf fields.
Utilize that.
Yeah, dude.
Utilize that.
Absolutely.
And again, if you need to drive 5 minutes to a safe park or a clean park or whatever, or a track near you, 5-10 minutes, whatever, you'll be able to make it happen. Yeah. You'll be able to make it happen. The suburbs are available for that if need be, if your area isn't nice or something. Sure. So that's your preparation, planning stage, et cetera, that type of stuff. You start thinking, okay, I can do this thing. Number 4, and which is pretty much listed, whenever I took college classes, this was listed as the hardest one. Pretty much every article will tell you this is the hardest one, is the action stage. Yes. This is when you secure that gym membership and you're showing up 2 to 5 to plus days a week, whatever it is, whatever your number is starting out. And you might, at the preparation and planning stage and also the action stage, you should be talking more than likely to a professional at this point in time. Yes. I know a lot of people can do it through YouTube, but that's not a very high percentage of the population that'll be able to convince themselves and learn through YouTube. You
just gotta vet who it is. Again, if you're gonna do it through social media, or like if you choose to go with us as far as online training whenever that's available. Yep. Like obviously you gotta vet us, and that's why we are putting in the processes that we are to make sure that you're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for you, etc. But if you want to do it through YouTube or social media because maybe you're just too nervous to talk to somebody, number 1, just get over that fear, okay, and go up and talk to a trainer, talk to someone at a gym. You know, if you go to a bodybuilding style gym like I do, go up and talk to the bodybuilder people.
Go up to the biggest guy.
Yeah.
And he'll be super helpful.
More than often, or
more than likely.
More than often. Where the hell did that come from? more than likely, that person is going to help you out and be super willing to help out as well. They might look the scariest, but they are usually some of the nicest, honestly.
Yeah, I understand why people would look at Will Bates and be like, "Is this a titan?
Is it?
You know, is this literally not a human being?" You know, I understand why that would be the case because we still think of that same thing. But turns out Will is one of the nicest human beings we know.
He is just one of the best people you could ever meet.
Literally. But he looks like he could pick you up and tear you in half.
Well, he probably can.
Well, yeah, he probably can. He just won't. That's a big differentiation. He won't tear you in half. Oh, man. But
just don't piss him off.
Yeah, for the love of God, do not piss Will Bates off because none of us need that wrath in our life. But, guys, so we're talking about this preparation planning, this action stage now. The reason we say more than likely, those of you that are listening, reach out to a professional is because they will be the most helpful and you'll be able to develop a relationship with another human, which is also a good thing.
Yes.
That'll come along with it. That's another positive of the situation. But if you really trust that person, which I know those of you listening, like a lot of you know us, and in general, a lot of you listening, like you probably are listening for a reason. You saw our content, decided you trust us.
Mm-hmm.
DM us, talk to us in person, whatever it is.
Yeah.
People like us can help.
Yeah.
Just like other people you follow that you might have built trust in, however long you followed them. You can trust them.
Absolutely.
So reach out to those type of people. The action stage, again, guys, just to reiterate, that is the stage where, you know, you have that gym membership and you're actually utilizing it at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the hard part is, this is probably the first 3 to 6 months, this action stage, is not fluctuating back to another stage.
Yeah.
To that planning stage, to that pre-contemplation stage, that contemplation stage, whatever it is, because that is the easiest thing to do, and a high percentage of people do that at this action stage.
Yes.
Because it's scary. That first 3 to 6 months is terrifying.
And it's hard, too.
You're
gonna be sore, you're going to be tired, you're going to be hurting.
Yep.
Like
you do legs for the first time, you think somebody literally sawed them off the night before.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I'm never going to walk again.
Right.
When in reality, it's just like, no, you're soft and you haven't worked out yet.
Or you're just new to the gym.
Or you're new to the gym. Hey, I mean, when I was new to the gym, I was soft. So, but anyway,
I was soft because I had a lot of extra skin. I was like squishy, you know,
pudgy, a little bit of pudge going on. But the final stage, guys, is our, I'm not going to say end goal because it's not the end goal. This is the final stage for a reason. It's called the maintenance stage, or some people call it the stage of accomplishment. I've heard that before, or just, you know, you feel like you accomplished something. This is still a dangerous stage because, again, like we said, you're like, oh, I achieved the physique I wanted. I lost that 50 pounds or whatever. I'm done now.
Right.
And you and I have talked about this before where percentages show that a lot of the times people lose 100 pounds, they'll put that same weight or more back on. It is a very high, it is a very high probability that it happens. And you have to put the systems in place to make sure this is not the case. Because the maintenance stage is about falling in love with the process. Health is a process, a lifelong process that never stops. You know, you might change your style of training. You might do more running. You might do more strength training. You might do more bodybuilding training. Whatever it is, you might change your style of training, but that you never stop training.
No.
That is the number one thing. You never stop training.
And you should change your style of training at times too.
As needed.
You know? Yeah, yeah. And then, like we've talked about too, it's always good to put your body in different situations, different tests.
It's also fun.
It is very fun.
Like objectively, it is a mentally stimulating thing to do to switch up your training styles.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've talked a lot about it here on the podcast, and then just between you and I personally, like this whole, like I'm getting into the hybrid training where it's the bodybuilding style with the running, and like, yeah, it sucks. Like it very much sucks, but like it's awesome. I'm loving it. I really am.
Yeah, running is not one of those activities though. I think a lot of people have this idea. Some people there's a few people I know that love running, which is always kind of like like you have something wrong, like twisted in your head, like some wires crossed at some point in time. But for most people, running is not an enjoyable activity. But
I don't like actually enjoy it, but I am enjoying this.
Yes, and I wanted to clarify that too, because the mental beat down and challenge you get from running is the good part about it.
Yeah,
is the really enjoyable part about it, because you start putting yourself in a different realm, especially when you start running longer distances, as you've started finding now. Those long distances, they they get you into a headspace, and it's not about your body at that point in time. It is
Yeah.
literally about how much you can do in your head, how much you can handle mentally in your head, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's part of that maintenance stage, because once you hit that, you'll want those little extra challenges mentally.
For sure.
And it might not be a fun thing to do, objectively or whatever,
Right.
because I think people imagine exercise is like you're playing a game or something like that. It's like it's supposed to be that way, which to us at this point in time, it is.
Yeah, if that's how you have to think about it, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yes, but it was also supposed to be hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as far as the running though, dude, you just made a great point. Once you start going those longer distances, and right now I consider for myself, some of you are going to laugh at this that have been running a lot longer, but I consider longer distances for me 2 or more miles. To me, that's a long distance right now. And I'm completely okay with that, because I'm obviously trying to work up to longer and longer and faster times, blah, blah, blah. But you also really discover a lot about yourself, because you hit a PR in the gym, on dumbbell bench or something. And yeah, that feels great, because you had to work a long time for that. Or my biggest goal that I finally accomplished, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, was getting to 10% body fat.
Oh, they're going to say 405.
Oh,
because that was badass.
That was sick. That was this past winter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I haven't really deadlifted since that. But just for my health, basically.
Sure.
Even though deadlifting is super fun.
Deadlifting's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you have the correct, what do you call it, IAP, intra-abdominal pressure, then you can actually keep it very safe too.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I didn't get hurt from it or anything, but just.
But it's just not part of your training goals right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Put
Exactly.
simply. Yeah.
But if I got to 10% and was like, all right, sweet. I'm good. I got here. Let's get fat again. Like, no. Now I'm kind of like, oh man, like 8% could be kind of cool. Like, what?
Maybe I should
go
to 5%.
Well, I don't have a death wish.
Man.
But it's like
5%.
it's like the next challenge, Now I'm approaching 9.0 very quickly here, and it's like, like what would 8 look like maybe, or what would be a good maintenance for me that I would be happy with physique-wise, and then I have to find new ways to challenge me. Boom, that's where running can come in.
And that was what I was going to say too, because you can add running into that, and you can also even look at your in-body and check something like muscle mass, and that could be your next challenge.
Oh yeah.
What can I maintain 10 or 9% body fat, but also my muscle mass goes up by another 2 to 3 to 5 pounds.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Right.
Let's give it a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I've been at. I've had, as far as the in-body goes, and we've talked about the pros and cons of that, but as far as that goes, I've had body fat going down towards 9% consistently for a month and a half now, muscle mass going up, and my body weight going up as well, which is what everyone wants to do, lose body fat, gain muscle, like obviously, who wouldn't want to do that? But it's finding those new challenges, and running has really been that for me, for sure. Because the gym's going to be there. That's a staple for me. I'm going to be there 6 days a week without a doubt. Like that's how I am, But if I don't consistently find new ways to challenge myself, or anybody for that matter, if you don't consistently find ways to challenge yourself in this maintenance stage, because all 3 of us in this room would be at that point, then you're going to get burnt out. You're going to stop seeing results, and you're going to kind of fall out of love with that process that you fell in love with.
Which, again, isn't uncommon.
No, not at all.
Statistics say that.
Not at all.
So you have, especially because everybody uses their life events as the next excuse.
Sure.
Started a new job. I got married. I have kids now. When, in reality, those 2 things, the last 2 things I said, married and kids, that should be a reason
absolutely
that you're staying fit.
Set the example for those kids. Bring your wife with you.
Because guess what? I actually heard this great example. You're going to love this. Great example. That if you are bitching all the time, I can't work out because now I have Susie and John in my life. Let's say your kids hear you say that.
Oh.
They're going to think that they are the reason mommy is unhappy and unhealthy, or dad is a slob and unhealthy. They're going to think they are these worthless sacks of shit, and they're a problem.
They're going to think they're a problem. Yeah.
And that's going to be on you, because you're whining about them. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Like, no,
they're the reason. They're the reason you should be fit. By the way, and that's one thing that you and your husband, wife, whatever, you know what I mean,
you got a husband, bro?
Apparently. damn it.
There's definitely a meme going in there.
Apparently, I have a husband that I didn't know about. Anyways, your spouse, if you guys need to communicate that at that point in time too, because I understand. I've talked to plenty of married couples, and we know plenty of married couples who have to structure things a little bit differently. That is something that you guys have to have that conversation.
Absolutely, and obviously, it's very easy for both of us to sit here and say these things, being unmarried without kids, so we don't have the responsibilities of being in a relationship right now. Okay. But guys, this is what we talk about when we're introducing our topics, and he talks about the Knight's Table episodes, and he says, we're a 25, a 24, and a 23-year-old young men. We're trying to bring you guys along so that we can set that path for ourselves. So when the time comes to be a husband, a father, whatever, we're prepared for it. We already have those habits set in. We already have that lifestyle set in, so that when those times come, we don't have to face that, oh, I don't have time to do this now.
Yep.
Because
we already have the habits established.
Exactly.
We already have the automated processes in place.
Exactly.
Just like Atomic Habits,
right,
as we talked about.
Right, without a doubt.
If you already have those processes in place that, oh yeah, this is how we do things at this time, and it's basically just like clockwork, it makes things much easier.
Exactly.
Then kind of scrambling to be like, I'm going to go work out at this time, and I'll take the kids to this, and you're all over the place.
Right. You might just have to start waking up earlier or going to bed a little bit later so that you can make the time, So I know, or I hope there's not any of you that are in situations where you're married or have kids and you're like, what are these guys talking about? Like they don't have to deal with having kids or deal with having a spouse or anything like that. Okay, we're not hating on that. And we are not speaking out of pocket here. All we're saying is that, don't you want to set the example for your kids? Don't you want to have that a part of your relationship with your spouse? Don't you want those things? Who doesn't want to become a bad MFR?
Literally, the most jacked guy we know, again, Will Bates, is married with kids.
Married with kids. Jeff Lavecchio, who we, obviously both of those guys we had on the podcast. Jeff is now married, has a crazy booming business. Kylie, his now wife, has a crazy booming business. Guess what? They both have time to work out.
It can be done.
It can be done, without a doubt.
Because there's plenty of other examples.
And it needs to be done.
There's just two of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, but you're right. It needs to be done.
It's not. It can be. It needs to be.
It needs to be part of your life, as any human being, but especially as a father.
100%.
Especially as a father.
100%.
Now, guys, I wanted to give you. So you just heard our 5 stages of change here. The 5 stages of change, again, pre-contemplation, the do nothing stage. Contemplation, you're like, okay, I might have a problem. Preparation, planning, okay, you're thinking about getting into things. You're researching experts, all that type of stuff. Action stage, you're taking action first 3 to 6 months and you're getting after this thing. Then there's the maintenance stage. Again, this is where you maintain this. Obviously, it's a stage of accomplishment. You continue having health as a priority in your life. Now, I want to give 2 quick tools as well. Number 1, if you're obese, I mean like not just overweight, you're obese, and you objectively can say that your BMI says it, your body fat says it, you need to be cutting out alcohol. Because there's already enough, your body fat percentage enough already lowers your testosterone as it is, and this goes for men and women, because women do need testosterone, newsflash. Sure. But your body fat and your cortisol levels already are decreased your tests like crazy. You do not need to add alcohol into that mix.
Correct.
I mean, even a drink. Honestly, it's one of those things, if you're obese at this point in time and you're that overweight, just cut it out.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be 0.
I can't disagree one bit.
Sorry. Like at some point in time, you're going to have to get over the fact that you cannot be compromising this.
Yeah.
And you need to do that. Then number 2, and we talked about this one before, but I will reiterate it multiple times in other episodes too, is CICO, which is CICO, calories in, calories out. Every bit of research determines that this is correct. Again, if your maintenance calories, you determine your maintenance calories, you could literally go online and look up maintenance calorie calculator. And let's say it's 2,000, because that's like the regular nutritional guidelines and whatnot.
Right. Which a lot of the times is not accurate.
It's not going to be accurate, but let's say it's 2,000,
sure,
just for example here.
Sure.
If your maintenance calories are 2,000, that means that you need to cut down to, let's say, 1,800 calories.
Right.
And you will lose weight if you do that.
Yes.
Again, at least track your calories for like a week just to get an idea of what you're looking at. And then, guess what? Even if you eat your McDonald's and get 1,800 calories out of that, you're still going to be losing weight. It's a numbers game. Now, we also want to point out that whole foods are going to make this process a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you eat a solid farm-fed chicken breast is going to satiate you a lot better than a Big Mac will.
100%.
A lot better. You're going to feel full longer. It's going to work out better for you.
Yeah.
Protein intake's another one along that same Seco line right there.
Yeah.
So those are 2 tools that you should be implementing right away when you notice there's a problem here. And if you're overweight, same thing. If you're overweight, let's say by
underweight, you mean?
Underweight, yes. But what I was saying is this was the obese category I was talking to there. But but underweight, 100%.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
especially in my case, I basically just had to force feed myself.
Yeah.
Which, doesn't sound enjoyable to anybody, but truthfully, I like the results.
If
of
you
what
want to
happened
gain
from
weight,
it.
you're going to have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind it looking back on it.
Right.
But if you're overweight, let's say 30 to 50 pounds or whatever, you're going to use pretty much the same tools. Again, could you have a drink or two with your wife, a glass of wine with your wife a week? Then you probably have more leeway to do so. But in reality, if you're not at a place you want to be, I don't think alcohol needs to be in that mix.
Yeah.
I really just don't.
Yeah.
If you need to cut it out for 6 months, ooh, so scary.
Right.
If alcohol is that much of a vice on you that you cannot go without it, by the way, that's also a really concerning thing.
100%.
Really concerning thing. Is it fun to drink and do that stuff with friends and whatnot? It can be.
Can be.
Absolutely. But again, if you're at a place physically where you shouldn't be at, it shouldn't be a part of your diet.
Right.
It shouldn't be a part of your intake at all. At all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just want to add to your calorie counting, food tracking note there, guys. I'm gonna pull up my own MyFitnessPal app here, which is the one I highly recommend. It is
a little
free to
transparency.
use. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
I have tracked for 1,244 straight days. 1,244 straight days.
Badass.
And I can fully, without a doubt, confidently say I would not have gone from 265 to now 194 without tracking every single day those past 1,244 days. I can fully say that because that's how good of a tool it is, and that's how effective it can be. You don't have to do that, okay? He said to start with a week. Personally, I'm a full advocate for tracking every day, and I think it really, really allows people to have an understanding of what they are actually eating, how much or how little, because most of you have absolutely no idea how much you're actually putting in your body. Yep. And you're like, man, why did I gain 10 pounds in a month? Well, probably because you don't realize that you're eating 4,000 calories every single day. And I can promise you, you're not burning 4,000 a day, okay? So I personally am a full advocate, and we've talked about this some too. I'm a full advocate for tracking every day. It doesn't, for me anyway, it has not caused a bad relationship with food whatsoever. It just can be a wake-up call sometimes. You know, if I'm consistently seeing days where I'm in the 35 to 4,000 range, 3,500 to 4,000 range, I'm kind of like, hey, these are a little bit too high a days here, That
probably could work though for your running days along with
it
lifting,
could,
right?
Yeah. And sometimes I do have those days.
Sure.
Where I just expend a lot more energy. So I need that fuel. 100%.
Interesting what he just said.
Yeah, right.
He's working off of energy expenditure, guys.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy point there.
Interesting.
About as simple point as possible there.
Right.
Oh, he burned enough calories, he can eat this many calories now.
Exactly. So I just wanted to add to that. I think tracking your food and tracking your calories is a must to make progress. That's what I have seen in my own personal experience. You go to my Instagram, you can see the differences from several years ago to now.
Love it.
So I
wanted to say too, guys, as part of Untapped training, we're going to have that as part of it when it comes to nutrition and whatnot, and helping you guys establish where you're at with that. Mm-hmm. Now, again, we're not claiming we're dietitians or something like that. Of course not. But can we give you a lot of help with that? Absolutely. We do have
100%.
a lot of experience in that area. And again, for those of you that it might cause a bad relationship with food when it comes to calorie counting, intuitive eating is something we know how to work with as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
just all about making adjustments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, again, Wurtz is 100% right. If you have a specific number in mind, if you're at 250, you want to get to 220, tracking your calories is going to be the way to do it because
100%.
It's going to be the most accurate way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will.
All right, well, guys, that's going to be the main content of Season 3, Episode 17, what we would do if we were fat.
If we were disgusting.
If we were disgusting. So at the end of all of our episodes, our wonderful producer, who was pretty quiet in this episode, Mitch, you still breathing over there?
Yeah, sucking swamp water when I go upstairs.
No, he was petting the cat over there. Him and Moke were having a good time.
Mitch will ask us a Q&A question that is submitted by you guys, the listeners or the viewers. You can submit those to us a couple different ways. So Instagram DMs is number one, or just one way, which is at untapped.llp. It is also in both of our personal bios. You can email them to us, which is extricationfitness@gmail.com. Extrication is spelled on this beautiful flag behind him, for those of you on video. There's also an email button on our Instagram profile, or you can text them to us individually if you do have our numbers. All of the questions then get passed over to Money Mitch. They stay at his desk. He goes through them. He picks one out. He does his thing. Go ahead.
Alrighty. What impact on y'all's mental space has the fitness journey had on you? So you were talking a little bit about your story closer to the...
He said y'all's.
What's wrong with
He's
that?
like he's country over here.
What?
That killed me. Sorry.
Anywho.
This guy just can't focus on anything.
Yeah.
Apparently not. You see what he said? Y'all's mental spaces.
I heard it. I was like, okay.
I've never heard Mitchell say y'all once in his life. I'm not even kidding.
Lying.
Not even kidding.
I say it. I don't know.
He's lying.
I'm fine with it. I've just never heard Mitchell say it once.
He's lying.
He's racist against us now.
Yeah, he's lying live on air. He doesn't like country people.
I have a mullet, but I don't say y'all.
Yeah. Get out of here. Billy Ray Cyrus head ass. Come on now. All right. Anywho.
Did you say Billy Ray Cyrus? Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
So I guess with the question, you were talking a little bit about your story at close to the beginning of the podcast. And you were mentioning how there was some depression associated with that. I forget who I heard this from the other day, but not everyone. You're not going to be happy every single day, right? We're not going to wake up. Oh yeah,
probably from Mark.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, probably. Yeah, I think you're right. But how has it changed your day-to-day mental? Just in general, your mental aspect, the way you think about the world, the way you carry yourself. How has your guys' fitness journey changed that?
Yeah. I think at least the first two that come to mind for me is, and I know it's not always great to have pride in yourself and whatnot, and there's a lot of, things that point to not having that in you, but it's okay at times. So I think it's allowed, at least for me, to have some pride in myself, be proud, of what
100%.
I've accomplished, what I've overcome throughout the past, whatever it is, 3-4 years, and allowing myself to be proud as well. That doesn't mean get complacent, but just like, dude, you're doing all right. Like, you're doing good. Like, you can be proud of yourself. Yeah. But also to just show me the value of hard work, the value of what putting in the time, putting in the effort when maybe no one's around watching, no one's, cheering you on like in a game or something, but like it's just you and it's that dude in the mirror, and it's just you and the weights, you in the track or wherever you might run or walk or whatever. So it's really, really taught me the value of hard work. There's no doubt about that. And I know for 100% certainty, or with 100% certainty, that will carry over into our success with the business and all of these things
Without
that we
a
want
doubt.
to accomplish, both together and individually. I have no doubt in my mind that the things I have learned over the course of the past 3 to 4 years will 100% carry on and carry with me for the rest of my life. So anytime that I feel like giving up on a certain thing, or we feel like giving up on a certain thing, like, we both know how to pull ourselves out of that mindset, and turn it around really quick. And I think that also has then allowed us to be able to help other people through that, using our stories, using our experiences, using our transformations, not just physically, but also mentally, and it'll help other people change their lives too. And that's exactly why we created this brand, created this business, and exactly why we're going to be including some of the things we will be including in our training. It's not only going to be physical training, guys, and it's going to be pretty freaking sweet. It really is. And
it's going to be gross.
Really, really excited about that. But at least those are the first two things that come to my mind.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely say on my end that I've just had a much clearer head. Because
That's a good one, dude.
Don't get me wrong, especially, and I always look back to college, because college is the time where I was just in limbo in general, just because, one, I was a whiner to be honest with you, in
Drank
college.
a lot of wine.
Actually, no, not in college, but after.
Anyway, continue.
But I was very much I guess complainer is probably an easier word to describe it there, but I would definitely be very always like the must be nice and negative crowd and whatnot when I was in college. Because I was physically active, but was I working out and learning in my classes? Yes, I was, because I've told you this before, but my exercise classes I did super well in.
Yeah.
And I, to this day, got 85% plus in every one of those classes, did super well, and it shows why I love doing what I do now.
For sure. But
whenever I really got serious about fitness was when I came back home, and that was 4 years ago now. Wow, I'm old as shit.
it's probably a little bit longer than that, right?
Might be longer than 4 years, actually, now you say that, which is kind of weird. But whenever I did, that was when I really got serious, and that's when I really jumped back into actually working in the space too. And yeah, like a clearer head is just the easiest way to put it. Because my perceived ADHD and whatnot that I got diagnosed with when I was younger, in the last 4.5+ years or whatever it's been, I've used that as a crutch. Never. Like I've talked to you about this. That's why I feel like it's good that I can focus on multiple things at a time. It's actually a positive thing.
It's almost a blessing in disguise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I see
anyway.
I see a lot of people in the ADHD space using it as just, I'm just gonna whine about it and bitch about it, and that's it.
I believe that's called reframing. It's an actual term where
I think
you reframe stuff. It could be a negative thing objectively, but you reframe it in a positive light, and typically that results in a positive outcome.
Yeah.
I think it's what Tate
talks about with depression.
Well,
he like for himself, he like just says depression.
Well, you're a
isn't
misogynist for even bringing up Andrew Tate.
Yeah, so we shouldn't talk about him. We'll get canceled. Totally real human trafficking charges. Totally real. But he says he reframes it for himself. Yeah, we're the conspiracy goes. He reframes it for himself in like he doesn't believe depression is real because he doesn't let it have any power over him. Just like ADHD for me, I reframed it to the point where it's actually a useful tool for me. So I treat it that way instead of it's like a mental disorder. I treat it as this is a useful thing that I can utilize in positive ways.
Yeah.
So exercise has helped me a bunch with that.
Now, with that, we're not saying reframe obesity as a good thing. Man,
that's as much as we laugh, that's actually really
I'm fat.
Yes, it is.
If I roll down some stairs, I won't get hurt. It's a good thing. Like, no.
Yeah, there is
I can sit by myself on a plane. Well, that's because you take up 3 seats.
I would say actually, excuse me.
It's like,
yeah. By the way, we are not designing larger plane seats.
Everyone's worst fear. You have an aisle seat. A person's in the window seat. Then this beefcake pulls up and has the middle seat.
Beefcake,
bro. That's everyone. That is the worst fear of probably everyone who's ever been on a plane. Is you just have this unit,
this sweat dripping all over you.
Yeah,
literally. Yeah, or like going to a Cardinals game or something, and it's just like
you and I have seen that plenty of that at Cardinals games.
Just freaking slugs. like the slug thing from Monsters Inc.
Oh,
Mike was out. Yeah.
I was gonna say they're part of the Hutt clan.
That's what I was gonna say. It's Jabba's family. Yeah.
Damn it. The Hutt family. Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, Jabba made it to Earth finally.
Oh
He's not on Tatooine anymore.
Anyway, let's wrap this up here.
But the last thing I was going to say is my confidence. 100%.
Yeah.
In general, I just feel a much more confident human. You know, like, it's funny, but I'm not scared of talking to women anymore.
Yeah.
Still to a certain point, yes, because they are still scary to a certain point, of course.
Sure.
But I can be myself in a larger group of people, in a larger room of people, and be less self-conscious about it.
Yeah.
You know, I can speak up in a room because I feel like I have just more confidence in myself because of my physical appearance and my physical capability, that it also gives me more mental assurance in myself, so to speak. So
yeah. Even doing things like the podcast that we have now for well over a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Quickly approaching 2 years.
At first, it was terrifying.
It was very.
We're gonna set up a camera and have it film us, and
we got to talk to a camera.
We're gonna put it on Spotify, and they're gonna listen to our voice.
Yeah, they're gonna go from listening to Drake to listening to us.
Yeah. Well, Drake paints his nails, so They really should be listening to us, and that's it. But
I shave my legs, so.
Well, I think painting nails beats out shaving your legs in this scenario.
Sure, very fair.
I could be wrong.
Very, very fair.
But
yeah, no, we'll go with that for sure. 100% agree. Yep. Mitch, I'm curious.
go ahead, Mitch. He was about to say something.
I'm just gonna say he's a tad zesty at times. That's all right.
Tad sus. Yeah.
Sorry, I have diced legs with veins in them.
No, I'm just saying you're a little zesty.
No.
He's saying you're a little gay.
No, I understand. I work around. I have a baseball team that is full of 13-year-olds. I know what zesty means.
Wurtz, you're gay.
Is that what they tell you?
Our coach is gay.
Yeah. That's probably what they say. Yes,
I want to make some comments right now, but I
know.
can't.
I'm like
I can't.
I'm like toning certain things.
I can't.
Were you
I can't.
asking for my opinion?
Yes, I was going to
Decision making.
There you go.
That's mine. I was thinking about that as you guys were talking. You can come to
really
conclusions, or you're able to make decisions confidently without second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Even if that decision does end up being wrong, you're able to, again, take value from that poor decision, from that decision that may have been incorrect, and still able to turn it into something fairly productive.
Absolutely. This was Merry Monday
love
number
that.
106 for me 2 weeks ago.
Oh
I
yeah.
literally
Dude.
talked about this. Talked about decisions and literally what you just said, learning from decisions that don't go the way you want them to. But can you take what happened in that? Can you learn from it and then adapt and apply? You know,
The fact that you're able to,
It's not being scared to make a decision.
yeah,
right,
You won't shy away from it.
right. And that was in
dude,
there
that's and that all loops in with confidence and whatnot.
Yes.
100%.
And
Yeah.
that loops back into your whatever the 5-step thing was.
Yeah, 5 stages of change. Yeah.
Hey, way to pay attention, Mitch.
Where
Thanks for listening to the
sorry,
episode, Mitch.
working over here. Anywho, where you're debating going to the gym, you make that decision right away, right then and there. We've talked about that with 75 hard.
Yeah.
Instead of debating it, you go.
You
That's
go.
that's
You
that
make
maintenance
the
stage.
decision.
Yeah, 100%.
Take action.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, it's being physically fit and physically capable, 100%. Anybody that tells you it doesn't mentally connect is lying to you.
Yeah.
To your face. Because what we're talking about right now is all, like Mitchell said, it's a part of the mental journey of it.
Without a doubt.
And genuinely too, as a man as well, what I've noticed is you can garner more respect from other males around you.
For
too.
sure.
Like it's easier to, in my opinion, it's easier to develop better friendships because of that.
Yeah.
Of the physical capabilities
Yeah.
and whatnot, especially with other men who are also physically capable and
Right.
whatnot, which is
Right.
because you end up just meshing minds in a really great way.
100%.
Yeah, and that's been shown in like evolution and
Yeah.
statistics and whatnot that men that respect each other also mesh better.
Right.
But
Well, because
100%.
if you find another man that is visibly physically fit, you know that he understands the value of hard work, and you know that he has
Yes.
confidence. You know that he is able to make decisions. So everything that all three of us just said, we know that even if they're using steroids, they still know the value of those things. They still feel those things.
Yep.
They've gone through those things, So it's 100% right.
All these mental things, they're going to be subconscious.
Yes.
A lot of times
Yes.
you won't notice that you maybe respect somebody that's in better physical condition.
Yeah.
You might not notice you have a little more confidence until you really think about it. You might not
Right.
notice that you really value hard work until you really think about it.
Right.
It's going to be subconscious.
Yeah.
That's what's really cool because it almost like automates the process in your head.
Right.
And physical fitness is the best, dude.
It really is, man.
I love exercise.
It's the number one thing.
awesome.
It's the foundation, and it's also non-negotiable, without a doubt.
It is completely non-negotiable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love
So,
it.
guys, that is going to be the conclusion of Season 3, Episode number 17. Again, what we would do if we were fat, okay? We just gave you a ton of value in this episode. So, guys, please share the show, okay? Spotify and Apple Music both make it super easy to share it to your Instagram stories. Tell people about it. Text them the link to it. Also, please rate the show. It's been a while since we've asked you guys to do that.
Yeah. Good call.
I think Apple Music has that. I know for sure that Spotify does.
Apple does.
Okay, cool. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, run that YouTube up.
Yep.
Even if you just jump on, give us a like, hop back off, cool.
Yeah.
It helps us, guys.
We
It
also
really
have
does.
other content on there.
We also
other than
have
just the podcast.
other funny content.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, until next time, peace and love.
Thanks, ladies.
Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything we're doing is a tough 'cause I'm a